Hello, everybody. I forgot to check to see if the comments going to work. Thank you, Cody, for commenting. Hopefully the comments do work. I did not check them out. Comments. All right, they are working. YouTube looks great as always. Very good. I don't know why it keeps going off that fast. How about the echo now? Did the echo go away, Cody? I don't know why there would be an echo. Hopefully the echo went away. What is going... It just seems like there's been issue after issue. Nothing works like it should be the first few times. Echo. Just seems like there's been issue after issue. Everyone else getting an echo? Turn the audio off. So this is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn the audio off. So this is a test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think I'm getting an echo on Facebook. Okay. I see the first comment on Facebook that there's no echo. As I wait a few more moments here to get started. Thank you, everybody, for no echo on Facebook. Hopefully, I can check YouTube in a second. But as I get ready to kind of go over day one of the trial, let me go over to YouTube. This is a good reminder for anybody any of the jurors that were on there. I know you were given instructions by Judge Corley not to do any research on this case. So if you're a juror, someone that might testify, it is now time to turn off this stream and do not watch this. You're not supposed to be watching this, so that is your warning. I'll give you one more warning here in a second. So if you're a juror, turn it off now. If you're going to be testifying in this case, turn it off now, because you do not want to get in trouble, and I don't want to be in front of a judge explaining what I did. I will be okay. I can talk about it, but if you are a juror or someone that's going to be testifying, you cannot turn it off, check back, watch this next week. All right. I'm going to check the audio. Jason Henry, it was not a good day for Guthrie baseball. I'm about to check the YouTube. Guthrie baseball got beat today at Carl Albert, so the chances of Guthrie baseball hosting regionals took a hit today as Carl Albert evened the series with Guthrie. Guthrie won on Monday at home, but Carl Albert won today. I don't have an echo on YouTube either. I don't have one on YouTube, so now if I had it up here, the audio would be better, but I have it down here. But anyway, yeah, Guthrie baseball lost today, so wasn't real pretty either. Carl Albert threw a pretty good kid though. I was in Midwest City. I was unable to attend my wife went there. My kid plays second base for the Jays. It was a crazy day. We're getting to the trial here, and I promise here in just a few seconds, as I went to Perry after today's day one trial to watch some junior high baseball there. So the echo is gone, but something is up with the mic. All right. Got everything turned down. So, all right. Again, one last warning. If you are a juror or someone who's going to be testifying that's not supposed to be watching this stuff, go away, please. Okay, so Zach Simmons trial. Thank you, Bobby Bennett. You sound a little Darth Vader. Yeah, I do hear a little something weird with the mic. It's not as good as normal. Let me get a little bit closer, see if that helps with that. But the Zach Simmons trial. All right. So if you guys remember, It's a story that was on Guthrie News page in October 2019. This happened October 26, 2019. 33-year-old Mandy Gorsuch was struck by a vehicle across the street from Roosters, which is a downtown bar next to the police department. There was a parking lot across the way, and I'll kind of get into more details here in a little bit. There were two parties, altercations, verbal altercations. A truck driven by Zach Simmons takes off. Mandy is hit. I'll kind of go in more details here, but just kind of a broad picture here. She gets hit. This is about 11:30 at night, and she passed away about 12 hours later the following day at an Edmond hospital. So that's the overview there. As I got it real quick second, I think it's this one. Yeah. So if you ever want to do this here real quick, if you ever want to look something up on Guthrie News page, just go in and click in the name right here or title if you want to look up Guthrie Public Schools, or if you want to look up a specific person or a school, whatever. If you type in, like I typed in Zach Simmons here, and it goes through all the articles that I have written in the past on this case. So this one was the first one is his preliminary hearing when Zach Simmons was first taken into custody. And by the way, I want to turn this ad off. If you see an ad that I've been working with Google Ads trying to get some of these ads that shouldn't be on there, I'm constantly blocking. But if you see a inappropriate ad, just click that X and then report the ad. I don't have a whole lot of say of what's on there. I can block them, but unfortunately I block them after I see them. So you can help me out by clicking the X and then reporting the ad, and hopefully Google takes those off. So if there's something that's not should be on there, I apologize. I don't have any control there. I don't look at anybody's toe. That's not really inappropriate, but I just simply don't want to look at it. I should note here, getting back to the trial here, Zach Simmons has been charged with leaving the scene of a fatality accident. This is not a murder charge, murder 2, manslaughter. It is not that charge. This is a one charge, leaving the scene of a fatality accident. So, today was day one of jury trial. It started at 9 a.m., Logan County Courtroom. Judge Phillip Corley, who is the district judge of Logan and Payne County, District 9. Judge Corley actually filed to be the district judge again, did not draw an opponent. Judge Corley does a fantastic job. Really appreciate what he's done since I've been doing it, and he runs a very fair courtroom. But anyway, jury trial started at 9 o'clock. In the very first part of a trial, obviously you got to select a jury, or voir dire, if you will. So there's a back and forth. Judge asks everybody, a lot of the jurors, questions, and then each attorney, the state, and the defense each have a lot of questions for all the jurors. And the state can get rid of 5 jurors, and then the defense can get rid of 5 jurors. So if the interview and for whatever reason they want to get rid of a juror, they can say, thank you for coming, but we don't want you to be on this trial for whatever reason. It can be something they don't think will be helpful for their case, or whatever it may be. They have 5 scratches on each side. Of course, the judge can do that as well. And Judge Corley excused 6 jurors today. And as I mentioned, you can have 5 on each side for the state and defense, and each actually had 4 scratches each. They had one more, but they did not. They waived that option. So each side had 4, and there's one their alternative jurors. So you have 12 plus 1 alternative, and each side could X out or take out 1 alternative if they don't want to be on there. But each of them waived as well. So we have 12 jurors and 1 alternative if something should happen. And so with that, you have 7 women and 5 men on the case. The Zach Simmons, who is the defendant, is his attorneys. I got a picture of it here in a second. There it is. Those are his two attorneys there. Scott Adams there on the right, and he is a very, very good attorney. We'll talk about that throughout the day. But Scott Adams has some of the biggest cases in the state of Oklahoma, and he is on the right. The guy in the middle there is Robert Gray. They have worked together for a long, long time on trials like this. Robert Gray, actually, there, and that picture was taken today. No cameras or phones are allowed in the courtroom, so that's taken from a distance. So that's why it's a little bit grainy there. But that picture was taken from outside the courtroom because, again, no cameras inside the courtroom. But anyway, Robert Gray, he did the voir dire today. He did all the questionings of the prospective jurors. And he's helping Scott Adams. Robert Gray, by the way, the one in the middle there, he has filed to run for Oklahoma County District Attorney. He's one of four who's going to try to win that seat. And then on the other side there at the very end is the defendant, Zach Simmons. So again, 7 women and 5 men on the juror, in the juror box. And that took from 9 a.m. all the way to 12:15 to get that juror, to get the jury seated. And then the opening statements from each side and a couple of witnesses, that started at 2 o'clock today. And I got my notes here from today's first 3 hours of back and forth between the attorneys. So I'll just kind of be looking down here a little bit, looking at my notes. If you guys have any questions, I'll be glad to Randy, so to state the obvious, I assume he pled not guilty. Nope, that's a good question, Randy. Let me get that in here real quick. So state obvious, I assume he pleaded not guilty, and this is not a plea bargain charge. He pleaded not guilty. Had a preliminary hearing, which those when the preliminary hearing, 95, 98, 99, almost 100% of those eventually the trial. I honestly don't know if there was a plea deal. I'm sure there have been plea deals that have been offered. I can't say for certain if that's happened or not. Maybe I can ask tomorrow on day number 2, but I don't believe, obviously did not accept them if that was the case. If found guilty, up to 10 years in the state penitentiary is the maximum punishment there for leaving the scene of a fatality accident. But again, if you want to, if this is the first time you've heard that, you can catch up on all the articles here just by going to Guthrie News page, doing a search for Zach Simmons, and there's 3 or 4 articles that have already been done on this case. Okay, so the state, JR, and I'm sorry, I'm forgetting his first name, JR, I don't know if I can say, I can't remember, but he's for the Logan County District Attorney's Office. It's him, Carson Turner, another assistant district attorney, and Lieutenant Mark Bruni with the Guthrie Police Department, who's the lead investigator. They're at the state table. And then I showed the picture earlier of the 2 attorneys with Zach Simmons at the defense table. The state got up there first and talked about that. There's 2 parties. There's Zach Simmons, who was with his now girlfriend, I think now wife, then girlfriend Mallory, and another individual. And then the other party was Mandy, the one who passed away from this incident here. She was with her wife Jenny, and then there was 2 other guys, Tommy and Josh. So there's 2 different groups, and just kind of paraphrasing what happened in the courtroom today. Mandy and her group go to Roosters. The times are kind of there, but in the evening time, they're there for 30 minutes. It's not really happening, not really fun atmosphere. So then they walk to another club, to another downtown club. I didn't like that a whole lot. Went to another club. Didn't really like that. And then they went back to Roosters, and that's where that were there until this incident happened. The other group, Zach Simmons, were inside the Roosters by the time they come back there. So you got both parties inside Roosters. And really there's up until the incident, both parties, that for the most part, there's some things that they disagree on, but for the most part, everything that has gone back and forth, both sides have really agreed. But we'll get to that here. I kept Scott Adams, the attorney for Zach Simmons, kept talking about Zach's big truck. That obviously it had to have struck Mandy. I mean, she got ran over. Whether I should say ahead of time that Zach Simmons, if you read these articles, did not know. He says he did not know that he hit anybody. In fact, didn't even realize what had happened, that he had hit anybody or accused of hitting somebody, was until the next day when Lieutenant Mark Brunin at the police department knocked or called or whatever it was to let him know that someone had died, that someone was hit. So Zach Simmons at the time, he didn't even know, his attorney, Scott Adams, said he didn't even know he had hit anybody or was aware of any of that. But in some of the opening statements, Scott Adams kept talking about Zach Simmons' 2015 Ford F-250 four-door truck. And he said big truck 2 or 3 times, and then he said giant truck 1 time. So I think what Scott Adams is probably building up is that this big old truck, and he felt something, but didn't feel like it was he had hit anybody. So I think big truck, giant truck will play in a factor here coming up later on in the trial. So there's an altercation inside, a verbal altercation. It looks like they make up, and we haven't got to this part yet of what, as they walked out, Zach Simmons and his party walk out at 11:26, and then Mandy's group walks out 2 minutes later, 11:28, and everything seems to be okay inside, but something, we haven't got there yet, haven't heard any testimony of what happened, of what made them upset with each other, where the female Zach Simmons' girlfriend and Mandy's girlfriend are going back and forth, and Zach Simmons' truck is across the parking lot, and Zach and his girlfriend at the time, Mallory, are inside the truck, and now you have Mandy over on the passenger side, back and forth with Mallory. Then you have 3 other people, Jenny, there's a guy named Tommy, and there's going to be a guy named Josh, go to the driver's side over where Zach Simmons is at, and they're having words. So you have 2 people on the passenger side yelling back and forth. You have 3 or 4 people on the driver's side yelling back and forth. And in testimony today, Tommy Mcclure said Zach Simmons had shown something. Well, court records and witness statements said he showed a badge and said back off, and that badge was when Zach Simmons was a volunteer firefighter. So he probably got the badge to show get back. He is what was quoted there. Just trying to get away from the scene is probably what he was trying to get them out. So he's dealing with those 3 people, and I get at the testimony says they backed away, and he made a right turn onto Oklahoma Avenue toward the police station and City Hall on this way back, was headed home. And if you know that parking lot, there's one way to get out, and it's very, very narrow, and there's a concrete barrier in there. And to be honest with you, when I park in there, and as I leave in the middle of the daylight, when I turn right and I don't hit the curb, I feel like I'm the best driver in the entire world, because it is a fairly narrow exit out there. So if you guys want to ask questions, you can. I'm going to try to get to those here afterwards. I'm going to try to stay focused here a little bit without going too far off. But if there's questions, if I can answer them, I'll be glad to do that. But so now there's some witnesses. You know, we haven't heard all the witnesses, but court papers and witness. There's the thing that we're waiting to see. Did Zach Simmons peel out? Did he take off fast, or did he just turn right? At what rate of speed did he take off when Mandy was hit? So I think up to that point, everyone kind of is on the same page. There might be witnesses might be off a little bit, but I think we're on the same page for the most part up to that point. After turning, witnesses say that Zach Simmons got out, looked out. That's the part that I think will be the big part in this case coming up here in the next day or so. Did he get out of the truck? Because one witness said he had got out and looked like at the rear driver's side tire, looked kind of underneath there. So he obviously, you would think maybe got out because maybe he felt something, whether it hit the curb. Opening statement said there was a big fuel tank in the back of the truck. Something, according to witnesses, made Zach Simmons feel like there was something that had hit the truck. And one witness said he got out at one time and looked at the driver's rear tire. And then, but the witness during the preliminary didn't say that. There was a few things that Scott Adams, I thought, was trying to show confusion of testimony in the preliminary from the original interview, from the day after interview, just trying to show that the first juror, Tommy Mcclure, who was with Mandy in that group. But so they say Zach got out, looked back, and then took off. And that's where you have leaving the scene of a fatality accident, if you believe that side, that he in fact did do that. Again, we've only heard from one witness that was there so far. There's more tomorrow, but this is just day one. So that's kind of the overview there. Let's see here. Fuel tank in the back, hit the curb. They say Zach drove and stopped somewhere around the police station, and that's when they said he stopped and looked back. Whether he looked at his truck, if he got out or not, still don't know that. One witness said he kind of contradicted himself a little bit, that he got out. Then one time he said he just looked out, didn't necessarily get out. So that's just one witness. Well, it'll be interesting to see what the other witnesses in the trial say, exactly how Zach Simmons got in or out type deal. The first witness to be called to the stand this afternoon was the bar owner of Roosters, Luis Arrigo. His nickname is Rooster. And he had pulled up. He had taken some people out to a hotel, come back. He comes back, and there's police, there's ambulance all over in front of his business. And the lady, the Mandy who got hit, had told Lewis that she had been hit, that he hit me. There was some vulgar. I won't use any of the vulgar there, but there's surveillance video. There is surveillance video inside Roosters. At the time, there was none on the outside, but now there is outside surveillance. But there was some surveillance video that was published that was from the far side, from another building. We haven't been able to see any of the video yet. They haven't seen any of the pictures, but there was some video. Is it good or not? Don't know, but there is some video that came from a surveillance video across Roosters, kind of near the parking lot, but we have not been able to see that quite yet. Just kind of going over here, some of the notes. the bar owner really said that he thought most of the member, I can't remember if he said, I know he said that three or four were intoxicated. Mandy's group, there was four of them. He said they came across as intoxicated, which if you own a bar, you probably know what an intoxicated person looks like. But also, he said Zach Simmons' crew, which was three people, he said they did not look intoxicated when they left the bar. The second witness that was called to the stand was Cindy Kyle. She's the person who, the lady who owns the building across the way that had the video. She really didn't offer a whole lot, except for the state wanted to make sure that let the jury know we got the video from this lady here from this location. Really not a whole much. In fact, Scott Adams, the attorney for Zach Simmons, didn't even ask questions of her. They excused her. The third and final witness was Tommy Mcclure. Now it was his son. He was with Tommy, his son Josh, Mandy, and Jenny. Mandy and Jenny were married, and they were friends with Tommy and Josh. They were at Tommy's house playing darts, drinking beer. Tommy called his other son Brandon, "Hey, come and get us and take us to the bar." Remember, they went to Roosters, they went to another club, then they went to another club, and then back to Roosters. And he admitted he had drunk around 12 beers that day. There was Zach Simmons' girlfriend walks by, and she says to Tommy, "Are you enjoying the show?" And Tommy said he just kind of let it go. That's when Mallory and Jenny had some words back and forth, but inside the club. But after that, they hug, and Zach Simmons came over and said, "Hey, that's my girlfriend," to Tommy, and they shook hands. So everything was fine. It appeared to be fine inside Roosters. Then they left at 11:26 and 11:28, 2 minutes apart. And then something happened. Don't know what happened that sparked the feud outside. They shook hands. And all that's on video. I have not seen any video yet. So Tommy and Mandy and Jenny, they all go outside waiting on Brandon to come and pick them up. Tommy says when he walked out, he paid the tab. He was the last one to walk out. He walks out, and the scene has happened. There's people yelling, so he goes over there to the driver's side, trying to get Josh and Jenny away from the driver's side, while Mandy and Mallory on the other side are arguing back and forth. And going through my notes here. I see a few questions here, and I'll get to those here in a second. There was some. Tommy said there was another part in here that kind of went back and forth. Tommy said there was a homophobic slur or a sentence from Mallory to Mandy, although they did not come up in Tommy's statement at the scene, the day after the scene, or did not come in the preliminary hearing, but he did come in today for the first time. And I won't say what was said as far as a slur, but that was between Mallory and Mandy. Tommy said in his testimony, he said he saw it bounce, talking about the truck bounce, and he kind of referred it up the road in front of the PD. He said it was like the truck had hit a speed bump or a pothole, is what the way the truck, what he said, had bounced. And that's at one time he said Zach Simmons got out and looked, got back in the truck and left. And then at this time, Tommy says Josh, the other party with Mandy, went running toward the truck and said, you just hit somebody. And Mandy at this time was moving, but it was in a lot of pain. So that's when cross-exam. Scott Adams came up there, the defense attorney, and I'm trying to read my writing. I write so fast, trying to keep up with it. During cross-exam, at one time, Tommy said he did not get out of the truck. He kind of opened the truck and looked backwards. So he said he got out, looked back at the rear tire, but then on cross-exam said he didn't get out, but he did look outside open the door and look. So that's where it's like, what really did happen. And Tommy admitted to drinking at least 12 beers and was drunk, didn't have his glasses, so he couldn't see. It was dark, he said. Tommy also said he don't recall Zach Simmons spinning his wheels, like peeling out when he took off up Oklahoma Road. At the preliminary hearing, Tommy said he did not get out of the truck, but today, under oath, he did say he got out. So that's the part that, with one witness, it's not really clear exactly what happened as far as did he get out, did he not get out, the type deal. So other witnesses will probably play a factor in that. And I think that's they were scheduled to have Josh, the other partner in Mandy's group that was with them, was supposed to testify today, but ran out of time. It went over. I think it ended about 5:15 today. So that's kind of the nutshell of it. I know it's kind of confusing a little bit because it's testimony from one person, and that one person was kind of saying stuff that that he didn't say at the night of the incident or the day after the incident. Tommy did go back in after Mandy got hit and the truck drove off. Tommy goes back into the club and is looking to talk to somebody, trying to figure out who the guy in the truck was. And he took a swing at somebody and was arrested and had spent the night in jail. And that's when the police try to talk to him again to try to figure out what happened that night. And so that is where we are right now in the case. I'm sure we will hear from Josh, the other part of the party. I'm sure we will hear from Jenny. And then I think after that, we'll get into Lieutenant Mark Bruni will probably testify on that. Again, I think everybody's going to agree something foolish happened inside, and then it kind of cooled down a little bit. Once at 11:26 and 11:28, when everyone goes outside, somebody said something, did something to reignite what it was to get into the argument where it really sounded like Mandy, the lady who died, 33-year-old who died, and Mallory, the girlfriend of Zach Simmons. Something happened between them two to get it really going. Maybe it was. I'm not sure, but the part we know that everyone's going to agree that he turned right on Oklahoma. The part I think that I'm waiting to hear, because everyone's innocent until proven guilty, and I've written 3 stories. I've been in the preliminary hearing. I've been to the first day of the jury trial, and I try to be open-minded on a lot of stuff that on these trials. I covered several trials, and I always keep an open mind, even during the David Wade, the deputy who got shot and killed by the guy sentenced to prison for the rest of his life, and that anniversary of that horrible ordeal was 5 years ago. But even during that deal, I kept an open mind because we all know he shot and killed him, but I try to be fair in these trials. And so right now, I have not heard anything that says that Zach did step out, look back. Don't know that part. And that's the part I think that will, whatever side comes out and points that toward the jurors, I think that will be the deciding factor, because the jurors don't know anything about this case. That's why they're not supposed to be watching or listening to any news or report or anything like that. So I think that's the part that will decide the ultimate fate of Zach Simmons in the one charge that he's facing, which is leaving the scene of a fatality accident. Drives a big truck. Did he know he hit somebody? Didn't hit somebody? His attorney says he didn't know any of that until the next day when police got a hold of him. So that is day one. Angela Martin, I will end the question here. Can you also tell us about a second arrest for drunk driving after this particular violation? Yes, that however, will not come up in this trial. Will not come up in this trial because that was after the fact and has nothing to do with this case. Now, depending on what happened on this deal and then in the future, it could be that was in Payne County, but that arrest has nothing to do with this one and will not come up in this. It can't come up in this trial here unless his attorney would have to bring it up, and that's not going to happen. The state cannot bring it up, so that case is still pending in Payne County, but it cannot come up in here on this trial here. Mark, good to see you, Mark. How long do you expect this trial to last? So day 2 is tomorrow on Wednesday. There's somebody I'm not sure if it's part of the judge or the defense or the state. Somebody has a funeral in the morning, so they will not be starting this day 2 trial until 1:30 tomorrow afternoon. That's Wednesday. I think it'll definitely go into Thursday, and depends on what happens on Thursday. Do note Friday the courthouse is closed due to 89ers. So this could linger maybe into Monday, no later than Tuesday. If I were to guess on this, I would say Monday, maybe Tuesday. Again, no morning session tomorrow on Wednesday, and no trial on Friday because of 89ers. I don't know why this turns blank. Does that just mean nobody put anything in there, Bree? So if you guys have any questions, I know it's kind of not real clear, and I have not been able to write a story. Went to this trial, got done at 5:15. My kid played baseball in Perry, so I drove up there, came home, made some burgers on the Traeger, and I'm completely tired and was not able to do an article. So I thought, well, I can at least get on here and kind of tell you what happened on day 1 of the trial. So I apologize, no article, and my kid's got a doctor's appointment tomorrow morning. So I don't know if I'll even get to a story until maybe Thursday, but I want to at least pop on here and talk about it. Any questions anybody else has real quick? And hopefully I didn't make it too complicated. It was kind of complicating a little bit just because the first one of the witnesses said he did get out, didn't get out. I thought the witness did a pretty good job, though. There were some things that I just don't know which one. He had a hard time remembering. And do remember this took place 3 years ago, and you remember different things at different times. So luckily, and I hope I never be put in that situation. But so we'll see how that plays out there, and obviously we'll know a whole lot more after day 2. And anyway, I hope I didn't make it more confusing, but there was family members. I think somehow relation to Mandy. There was 4 to 7 people inside the courtroom for Mandy as they sat behind the state's table, and I think I was the only one on the other side, trying to get as close as I can to all the exhibits and attorneys where I can hear the best. There were 2 Logan County Sheriff's deputies in there, like there always is, for trial. And I really think that was it. So I think that more and more as the trial goes on, we'll have more people inside, because if like Jenny and Josh, the names that we have come up that we've heard so far in the trial, they can't be inside the courtroom until after they have been excused by the judge, usually after their testimony. So we'll probably have more and more people in the courtroom as this progresses. So I give it a minute or two here for any questions. Again, I'm streaming this on Facebook and YouTube. If you have not gone over to YouTube, see if this button works. It does. It does. Videos are a lot easier to find. Guthrie News Page videos are a lot easier to find on YouTube than they are on Facebook. Like, I'll end the stream here in a minute, and this video will be lost in Facebook world forever. But on YouTube, they're all archived in order that they happen, whether it be sporting events, council meetings, school board meetings, stuff like this. It's just a lot easier. So go to youtube.com/Guthrie News Page, or just search Guthrie News Page. Hit the subscribe button. I think I have a button for that too, right? Yeah. So you hit the subscribe button and then that bell, and then you'll be notified when we go live, and you'll know exactly what happens there. So again, the judge excused in board dire jury selection, jury questions, and the questions are always, if you're counting at home on board dire, yes, CSI came up. CSI comes up every time because the state wants the jurors know that they can't solve the case like they do on TV. And so, those TV shows, they always have, in 60 minutes plus commercials, they always have the scene, the investigation, the jury, and all that happens in 60 minutes. They always bring up CSI. We can't just solve it in 60 minutes, and we're not going to have all the details that Hollywood comes up with. So they come up. But Judge Corley excused 6 people today. The state excused 4. Defense excused 4. And the state and defense actually can excuse 1 more each, but they did not do that. So Vicky asked, will you be back on tomorrow evening to let us know what went on? That is, oops. Yes, I hope to do that. I think being Wednesday night, there are no junior high or high school baseball games. It is 89er week, so that is crazy as well. But yes, I do plan to hopefully come on here tomorrow. I'm not sure what time to come on here and kind of tell you what happened on day number 2 of the Zach Simmons trial. But again, right now, I am undecided exactly what happened. I'm waiting to hear, did he know? It sounds like he, according to the bar owner, Zach Simmons was not intoxicated. Did he know that he hit her? I'm not sure. Not sure. And, he had 3 people on the driver's side of his truck arguing. He had 2 guys and a lady arguing with him. Meanwhile, there's another argument going on the other side. So when he showed that badge, again, no one is disagreeing that he flashed a badge, which was a volunteer firefighter badge. Was he trying to presume that he wanted them to know that he was a police officer? Don't know that. We might not ever know that. But he showed a badge. I mean, if you use common sense, he was probably just using a badge to get them back off, which they did back off. And then he takes off. Did he just see those 3 and then took off? Did he look over there where he saw Mandy or didn't see Mandy? Don't know. Obviously, one witness said he stopped. I think the other witnesses will also say that he stopped. Why did he stop? Did he get out? Did he look? I don't know. I really don't know that. And that's why there's a trial. That's because we're trying to figure that out. I can tell you, Scott Adams, the attorney, pull this up here. I think it's this one. Yeah. Scott Adams on the right side of your screen, on the very right. Scott Adams, he's an attorney out of Oklahoma City, and he's good. I'm just telling you, he is good. I've seen him 3 or 4 times in Logan County. He has some of the biggest cases in the state, and he's good. I don't know if he's going to win this case or not. He might not. I don't know, but I can tell you, he's good. And I've only seen him at courtrooms. I've never been to his office. I had short conversations with him today. He doesn't know who I am. He might know that I'm the reporter guy that's at all his trials. I do not know him, but I've seen him work, and he is good. So if the Logan County District Attorney's Office can win that one, that would be a big, big win for JR and Carson Turner, the 2 attorneys, assistant district attorneys here in Logan County, Scott Adams and Robert Gray, the 2 attorneys there for Zach Simmons. I should probably look at these questions before I put them on the screen, but I'll just put them on here and we'll just address them as they are. So, oops, sorry, wrong button. There we go. Tommy, good to see you, Tommy. BCW Wrestling. I didn't know they were finally taking him to trial. We had left Rooster shortly after it happened, and we were inside when it happened. Yeah, this happened about 11:30 at night. They show Zach Simmons and his crew leaving at 11:26, and then after that, Mandy and her group leaving at 11:28. And Tommy did say that if his group had waited just a little bit longer, to leave, more than 2 minutes, that Zach Simmons would have drove away, and none of this would happen, and his friend would still. He didn't say this part, that his friend would still be alive, but he did say if we would have waited just a little bit longer, Zach Simmons would have drove away. And so Scott Adams, the attorney for Zach, made sure to reiterate that a couple times during the trial. So, folks, it is 10:30 at night, and I apologize for coming on here late. Just a super long day. I was not going to be able to get an article out, and just wanted to let everybody know. I know this is a case that everyone's kind of been waiting to. It's been 2.5 years. It will be 2019, 3 years in October, so 2.5 years, I should say. The flowers, and I don't know if teddy bear, but I know there's flowers still at the scene across from Roosters. Went to an event at the depot and saw that there. So. Tommy says we were filming, asking it for it then. Yeah, there was at the time this was happening, and the first witness today, the bar owner, talked about there's 8 video cameras inside Roosters at the time. There might be more now, I'm not sure. But they were filming a movie, and the movie crew moved the surveillance cameras just slightly, and so they didn't have the best of views. They had some good views, but not what they could have been better. But the film crew had moved those accidentally, putting up tents or lights or whatever. They kind of got bumped and didn't have the normal angles that they would have. But they do show the parties leaving out the door. Have not seen the video. I'm not sure if we'll see it or not. I'm sure we will at some time. I'm not sure if it'll be the state or the fence who does it, but I'm sure we will see that video inside as well as outside from across the way. Hopefully I didn't confuse everybody. If I did, I apologize. It was just trying to go over the notes as best as I could. But anyway, all right, we're going to get out of here, and we're going to do this tomorrow, see what day 2 of the trial has. Again, 1:30 tomorrow, no morning session in this case. We'll be there Thursday. We'll see where that takes. I think it'll be Monday, maybe Tuesday, but we'll see unless things speed up. Have a great night, great weekend. 89ers week parade is in town, the carnival is in town. A lot of events going on. And Saturday is the 89er parade. We will stream the video live again. This is, I don't know how many years we've done this in a row, but the 89er parade will be streamed live on Guthrie News Page YouTube. I will have the link up here soon, and I'll put it on all the social media outlets so you guys can like it. Everybody's going to go to the parade, go out there, have fun, but do mark it so you can go back and watch it, and you can see yourself or your family or any of that later. But a lot of people live out of Guthrie, out of state, and this is a cool way to let those people see Guthrie that haven't been here in several years. And so I know the stream really helps out people who don't live here anymore, can come back and kind of see their hometown. And we always watch videos from 40, 50, 60 years ago of the 89 parade. It's really, really cool. And so hopefully in 40, 50, 60 years, YouTube is still around, and people will be looking back at these Guthrie News Page videos of the parade, and we'll have commentary, we'll have guests on the show, and all that good stuff. So we want everybody to go to the parade and celebrate that, and then got to come back and watch it on YouTube. But if you can't make it out, we will carry it live. So let your family members know if they don't live here or can't be here. We will carry it live from downtown Guthrie. Hope everyone has a great week, great 89er week, and everyone be safe out there. So long.